Just.
Good, mate. You?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Rich.
She's going to put you.
Hi, Trace. That's okay. Going. Good. Good. Very loudly.
need to talk about it. I remember when they first moved to that side, from school, footy training,
Yes, yes, they are. I'm trying to think when they always got
Ladies and gentlemen, not a bad start, hey? I just want to show you a couple of these pieces of memorabilia that have been arranged for Kevin. And the one that I see that illustrates Kevin and Val snuggled into this bloke's shoulder, and it's the most beautiful, beautiful photo. The rest are mostly car trophies. He'd enjoy his cars, man, after my own heart. Haslam, I had to ask, put out in the South Australian border, I think. But there it is. Stop to take a photo, right? Own name. And here's a fit young. If you get a chance at the end of our service, please make your way down and have a bit of a sticky beat, because there's some beautiful photos. Here's a fit young bloke, pair of shorts, no shirt on. It's obviously summer. And he's as cool as two cucumbers. And all the rest, the beautiful big smile that this bloke had for most of his days. And I also want to begin our service by, Jenny would like me to thank anybody that's travelled any sort of distance to be here today. I think it's made the family very, very happy and comfortable to see you all. So thank you all. And the live stream, anybody out on the live stream, please feel as if you're sitting in the chairs with us. You are most welcome as well. We gather today to pay tributes to Kevin's long life of 91 years. Now today is a sad day, there's no doubt about that. The fact is, our sadness is eased, it is, by knowing that Kevin is at peace. That Kevin is released from the restrictions of an ageing body. And most especially, our sadness is eased by knowing that Kevin and Val are reunited. And please, ladies and gentlemen, let's pause for a moment to remember Val, who we farewelled back in December 23. And I say to you all that Kevin will be pleased on all counts. All counts. So today, yes, a time of sadness, but more than equally a time to give thanks for the blessing of having had this man in our lives for all of these years. Kev can only be described as a creator. He really can. Many boats, homes, car restorations, and creation of a family. He never stood still, but most of you would know that. He never stopped. Hood said that his dad was relentless. That's a beautiful way to describe Kevin. He was always thinking of the next project. He worked hard all his life and gave everything no matter what he took on. But he was lots of fun. Carpenter Street, singing, always singing when he worked. When he was living at Altona, he loved mucking about with the kids. And Val's brother Joe was not only a brother-in-law, but a great mate and a support for Kevin. And Joe and Jack actually live with Val and Kevin, and I hope some of those relatives are here today. And have we mentioned the motorhome that Kevin built?
Just another example of his creativity. Sidekick Val was the interior decorator. He loved his classic cars. And Val was involved in those restos as well. Cars like the TR3 Triumph, the blue 32 Ford, the 38 Coupe, a Rangy, a red Range Rover, a Dodge Phoenix, a 42 Plymouth, a pale blue 54 Ford Custom Line, and a Russian Ural motorbike. Now Kevin was part of the Ford Car Club, and there's his jacket there, early Ford Car Club. He needed a car cover, as blokes with too many cars do. Well, Val got the machine out and made a car cover. And they travelled to Ford Car Club events in the 1932. See, Kevin was fortunate that Val loved these times. She was part of it. She was a perfect passenger. And she even drove the big Phoenix, which was about that wide. And all of these stories illustrate the things that made Kevin smile, but also the way that Kevin and Val interacted. And I've forgotten one bit here.
Part of Haslam legend, Christmas days, was to whip across from McRae Court across to the running track down there and play a bit of backyard, running track cricket. Only trouble is they got there one day and there wasn't a bat. Kev said no props, so he flew home and got a bit of timber out and made a bat. Just like that. I said he never stopped. She'd be a bit heavy, but she'd take a tennis ball a fair way away.
And it must be said, and Put and Jenny said to make sure that we mention this, that Kevin was a favourite fun uncle to all his nieces and nephews, and he very much enjoyed a beer when he went to the farm. They are wonderful memories. A life of smiles, fun and friends. And really our tribute to Kevin could go on for days. There's so many stories, and such were Kev's achievements. But each of you have your own special memories of this remarkable fella. Simply put, a long life lived to the max. And Pud sort of said, oh, we don't want any poems or readings. So we found this one though, Pud, didn't we? It's a beauty. It's called That Man is a Success. That man is a success who has lived well, laughed often, and loved much, who has gained the respect of intelligent men and women and the love of children, who has filled his niche and accomplished his task, who leaves the world better than he found it, who had never lacked appreciation of Earth's beauty or failed to express it, who looked for the best in others and gave the best that he had. Kevin Haslam. Now we put together a story, Kevin's story. And he was born on the 21st of March 1935 to Mum Esther and Dad Norman, the Royal Women's Hospital. And they were living at Elaine, a little community up near Sunbury. There was Norm, brothers and sisters Norm and Dot and Vi, and then Kevin. And Kevin's passing is the end of a generation. The book's closed. The memories don't ever close. And the family moved from Elaine to Birchip, up in the Mallee, as a young boy. And he went to school at Birchip. And family legend, well, it's not, because it's part of Kevin's body. Afterwards, he got bitten by a stallion. He took out his calf. Crunch, big old stallion, imagine. He used matchsticks. Matchsticks with the wood shaved off was the name Kevin was given because he had long, skinny legs. He rode a horse to school. And he left the farm at around 20 years of age and moved to Altona in Melbourne. And now Davey Street, Altona, ladies and gentlemen. A young fella called Kevin Haslam lived 3 doors down from Val. Kevin had moved from Birchip up in the Mallee, and time passed, and must have been obviously winter, because there was a group of friends, acquaintances, and they were all going on a bus trip up to the Snow. And prior to this, fella had walked past Kevin's house, and Kevin's mum said, "There's a nice girl for you." Kevin said, "She's only a kid." Mind you, Val's only just 3 years younger than Kevin. Brunette, this is Kevin's mum. Brunette with hair right down to her bum. Might have been Kevin. Val was on that trip and Kevin didn't even speak to her. He was playing hard to get. Kevin was out in the front yard at home, and Val came into the yard and said, "Look what they've done to me. Straub and Joey, Val's brother and sister, they're throwing mud at me." And when I was putting this together, I thought, nah, they might have, but it would have been a big setup just to get Val into the yard talking to Kevin. Needless to say, the two of them became an item. Kevin drive from the farm in Birchip, 200 miles to pick Val up from work at the bank. They were married on the 24th of April 1956, and they honeymooned back on the farm because of shearing. You've got to do practicalities of farm work. They got married. Jenny, you came along, and they moved into a new house that Kevin had built, 9 Waratah Street, Seahome, a suburb of Altona. And Kevin always thought that that was a very good year. Wood, you came along in 1958. And Kevin and John Birrell. Any of Birrell's relatives here today? No. Kevin and John had commenced the carpentry apprenticeships. Neither of them, I think, Jen, finished. Neither of them finished. But obviously, with what this man to whom we pay tribute today was able to do, finishing a carpentry apprenticeship didn't matter. Kev joined the Victoria Police on the 24th of August 1956, 4 months after the wedding. He left the police force in 1960 and bought his own concrete truck. Specified Concrete it was called. And good mates, Kevin Plover, he also bought an Aggie, a concrete truck. And the 3 good mates, John Birrell, Kevin Plover and Reg Munday. Best of mates, and I know some of the Plover family are here. Yes, well done. Thank you for being here. There'll be some memories. There were holidays to Eppalock and up to Lake Boga and out to Melton Weir with the ski boats, Jezebel, Lady Luck, all built by Kevin. He sold the truck and bought an old wooden boat from down at Hobart, the Tasma. That boat had sunk and been raised from the floor, the ocean floor around Hobart. And legend has it that the Tasma was paid for with a calico bag full of cash. Now, Kevin had travelled from Lakes, so he probably may have gone to a bank. It wasn't. That's just a legend then. And Val was so worried because there was no communication for a couple of weeks. Just imagine that today. I've got to go and have a look at this boat. And for 2 weeks, hardly a sound. Kev built another boat, the Monarch, and then the Seahome. And the Monarch and the Seahome were built in Melbourne. And then, and some of you will remember this, the James Curlin was built here in Lakes. And the Alex Vanessa was extended for Brian and Jenny Fernley, the Erin J, and often built in Kev's spare time because finance was short in those times. Now the James Curlin, I'm talking about 1979 when the James Curlin was built, and that was a $300,000 job back then. There appeared an ad in a paper for fishermen, in the Weekly Times in fact, on Groote Island. answered the ad. And Val was okay with it. And Kevin said, we fished our way around to Groot Island, stopping at Townsville. There were no rentals up there, no rental properties available, so they bought a caravan, which was shipped to Groot Island. They worked up there, fished up there for 2 years and left Groot in 1970. And arrived finally back in Lakes in January 1971. But the caravan, the old caravan, was shipped from Groot down to Brisbane by road back to Melbourne. And Auntie Vi, Kev's sister, went up with Kevin to Brisbane and back. He said it was a great trip. They moved to the Sunnyside Caravan Park and then 45 Carpenter Street, where they built a house and 5 holiday flats, the Paramount Flats. That was 1973. Jenny's 14 and Pud's 12. And as I said earlier, Kev may not have completed his carpentry apprenticeship, but he built those places with great skill. They enjoyed caravan travelling 3 months a year up to the sun. They made lots of friends. And eventually Jenny and Pud left home, but Kevin and Val worked hard, continuing running the flats and cleaning the pool and anything associated. They sold the flats, and after building the house at, I've got to get this right, number 7 McRae Court, they actually moved into number 5 McRae Court, which is right next door, in 1985. It was the first time that they'd owned a home that wasn't built by Kevin. It was the first time they'd owned a home that was built by a builder. Kevin did offer, but Val said, you've done enough. Now, Kevin suffered a life-changing stroke on October the 11th, 2008. And while it did change Kevin's life, Val became his carer and pushed him along. Little treats, like a special chocolate each night. And I remember Kevin saying that his Val was a marvellous, beautiful lady. And his gratitude toward Val was such that he said at the time, Valda looked after me wonderfully. After Val's passing, it's fair to say that Kevin struggled. The love of his life was gone. And health issues took their toll. And Jenny and Pud say that the last 2 years have been difficult, with the last 12 months almost unbearable. And finally, on the 20th of April, Kevin left us to be reunited with Val. And as I noted somewhere, back with his one true love. And I reckon that's just an amazing story. But now we're going to watch a photo presentation, and I've had the privilege of seeing this early. Some of the things that this man have done just make you shake your head. So a photo presentation, sit back and enjoy it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Cal.
love to have a beer with Duncan. I love to have a beer with Duncan. We drink in moderation, and we never ever ever get rolling drunk. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Duncan, 'cause Duncan's me mate. Yeah, I love to have a beer with Colin. I love to have a beer with Col. We drink in moderation, and it doesn't really matter if he brings his doll. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Colin, 'cause Colin's me mate. I love to have a beer with Kevin. Oh, I love to have a beer with Kev. We drink in moderation, and he drives me home in his big old Chevy. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Kevin, 'cause Kevin's me mate. I love to have a beer with Patrick. I love to have a beer with Pat. We drink in moderation, and it wouldn't really matter if the beer was flat. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Patrick, 'cause Patrick's me mate. Change key. I love to have a beer with Robert. I love to have a beer with Bob. We drink in moderation, just one more and back on the job. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Robert, 'cause Robert's me mate. I love to have a beer with Duncan. Oh, I love to have a beer with Duncan. We drink in moderation, and we never ever ever get rolling drunk. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Duncan, 'cause Duncan's me mate. I love to have a beer with Duncan, 'cause Duncan's me mate. One more.
You can dance every dance with the guy who gives you the eye. Let him hold you tight. You can smile every smile for the man who held your hand in the pale moonlight. But don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. Oh, I know that the music's fine, like sparkling wine. Go and have your fun.
Yes, I know.
Laugh and sing.
Yes, I know.
But when we're
Yes, I
apart,
know.
don't you give your
Yes, I know.
heart to
Yes, I
anyone.
know.
'Cause don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. Don't you know that love is so? Or can't you feel it when you touch? Well, I will never ever let you go. I love you oh so much. You can dance, go and carry on till the night is gone and it's time to go.
You can dance.
If he asks,
You can dance.
are you all alone and can he take you home? You must tell him no. 'Cause don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. Don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. Save the last dance for me.
absolutely beautiful photos. The greatest takeout from that for me was super petrol at 78 cents a litre. 78.1. Heaven's sake. Gosh, there's some beautiful memories in that. Just an amazing, I'm in awe of this fella. Just an amazing life. Now, more memories by those who knew him well and loved him. Erin Page, please come up, ladies.
Thanks, Peter. I've been asked to share some of Mum's memories of Pop. Dads are someone that you look up to no matter how big you are. In our case, it was so true. Pop was one of the very best. He was caring, loving, and so much fun. He never walked anywhere that he could run, or he would get a job done as fast as he possibly could. If a job is worth doing, it's worth doing well, is something that Mum can still hear Pop saying. Pop taught his children to have respect and to look after their things. Mum remembers Pop showing her how to wash their bikes and then their cars as they got older. Mum still gets the guilt when her car needs a clean. Pop had a wonderful appetite for life. His achievements are too many to list, from building houses, motorhomes and fishing boats, to restoring motorbikes and cars. Mum remembers him building a wardrobe in their house in Waratah Street and telling her she'd be able to keep her petticoats there when she got older. Mum loved watching Pop water ski and was in awe of him as a child. Mum loved that Nan and Pop brought lots of friends into their lives with their welcoming manner. They enjoyed the company of aunts, uncles, cousins, and many close friends who became family. When my dad wanted to ask Pop if he could marry Mum, he went into the shed, but found that Pop was too busy to stop for long enough to speak. The next day he tried again, but this time he had just asked Pop to stop what he was doing so he could ask the question. Pop was thrilled and always loved Dad. Mum thinks that if Pop lacked anything in his earlier years, it was patience. Everything had to be done immediately. He gained patience later in life. It was a cruel blow for Pop to suffer a stroke in 2008, but he persevered and regained so much. He and Nan enjoyed the motorhome afterwards, but life was very different for them both. We all admired his acceptance of his changed world and of the struggles he endured. He is reunited with Nan and is finally at rest. We love you, Pop.
I feel very honoured to be standing here today as one of Pop's grandchildren. Pop lived an incredible 91 years, and when I think about him, the first thing that comes to mind is how hardworking and determined he was. If Pop wanted something, he didn't just talk about it, he made it happen, whether it was building a house, a boat, or seeing the potential beauty in a rusted out Ford and bringing it back to life. He showed us what it meant to be motivated and to take pride in creating something with your own hands. One of my favourite memories really captures this. One Christmas we decided to play cricket, but we didn't have a bat, so Pop disappeared into the shed and came back out not long after, proudly holding a bat he had just made himself. It was heavy, but that didn't matter. What mattered was that Pop had made it happen, just like he always did. We have that bat here today, and it's a story we love sharing because it feels so perfectly Pop. But Pop wasn't just hardworking, he was also full of fun. He loved making people laugh, especially children, and he was always ready with a joke or a cheeky comment. He was always on the go, and when reflecting and putting our thoughts together, we came to the same conclusion, that in today's world, he'd probably be diagnosed with ADHD. We remember him bounding up the stairs two at a time, full of energy and fit as a fiddle. And of course, he'd joke about those skinny long legs of his, saying they were like matchsticks with the wood scraped off. Pop also enjoyed the simple things in life. He loved sitting back to watch the cricket, and it didn't take much encouragement for him to have a beer in his hand while he did. In true Pop fashion, he would always encourage us kids to drink the froth off his beer. It's one of those memories that still makes us smile. It's funny the little things that stay with you, like the smell of Old Spice, a packet of musk lollies, or the long legs of his great-grandchildren, things that will always remind us of our Pop. He taught us so much about hard work, resilience, humour, and making the most of life.
Thank you.
Sorry, Paige, I mentioned the cricket bat earlier on. Some things you can mention a couple of times. What I haven't mentioned is that, I think it was Chris who told me this yarn, that Kevin couldn't ever stop and he'd have a smoke in his mouth. And while he's working, it's going from side to side, like that. So even the cigarette didn't stop. Nothing stopped. Now, when our time's here at an end, please, if you're able to, I know that good Jenny, I'd love to have you stay. Share some memories, take some time before you wind your way home. So please, there should be some ripper memories coming along. It's time to say farewell to Kevin. And it's a strange thing, it's not like he's gone because his spirit is so strong. Everything that still remains is part of his life. His family, I mentioned earlier about him being a creator. He created with his beloved Val this part of the Haslam family. Each of you, as I said, have got special memories of this man. And they will continue to be told because, well, especially fishermen like a yarn. No, really, they will remain. Remember the time, remember when. And while those words are mentioned, gosh, Kevin remains with us. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here this afternoon. This amazing man has been with us for so many years. That's only one of his gifts. And everything else remains with us. If you feel that you'd like to, please join with me in the words of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And as I say, stay with us here. If you're able to, come down and have a sticky beak at the memorabilia, because it's very, very worthwhile. And our last song, The Green, Green Grass at Home, sung by none other than Elvis himself. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you.
The old hometown looks the same as I step down from the train, and there to meet me is my mama and my papa. Down the road I look, and there runs Mary, hair of gold, lips like cherries, to touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, and they'll all come to me, arms reaching out of sight, to touch the green,
through you, brother. Stay down. No.
The old house is still standing, though the paint is cracked and dry. And there's an old oak tree that I still cling. Yeah, down the lane I walk with my sweet yes, and they're